My name is Mfon, and I'm from a small village in Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Nigeria. I was the third of 5 children. We didn't have much growing up, no electricity, no running water. But we had faith. My parents raised us with the fear of God. Morning devotions were like clockwork, and every Sunday, we walked 5 kilometers to church wearing our only good clothes. My mother used to say, "The only inheritance I can give you is Jesus." I believed her. At 18, I was the choir leader at New Fire Assembly Church. I loved worship. I would sing with my whole chest. People cried when I sang. I had dreams of becoming a doctor one day, but my father was a roadside mechanic and we barely had enough to eat. That's when the pastor began noticing me. Pastor Jeremiah Edet was everything people believed a man of God should be. He was eloquent, charismatic, and powerful. People traveled from outside the state to attend our services. Women wept just from his prayers. Miracles seemed to follow him. He was also dangerously charming. After one choir rehearsal, he called me into his office. It smelled of perfume and something faintly herbal. He smiled and said, "My daughter, the Lord has shown me something about you. You carry fire." I felt goosebumps. Not fear, excitement. Was I really chosen? He started giving me special treatment, always calling me daughter of Zion, laying hands on me more than others, gifting me a white scarf, and once even putting 2,000 naira into my hand, whispering, "Don't tell anyone, the Lord told me to bless you." At home, I told my mother with excitement. She clapped and said, "You are truly favored." But I didn't know I was walking into a trap. Soon, I became his personal assistant. He said God wanted me close. He'd call me late at night to pray over the phone. He'd ask me to visit his office before service. One day, he hugged me and didn't let go. When I froze, he said, "Don't be carnal. This is agape love." I remember looking at the Bible on his desk and feeling confused. How could I feel so dirty when he was saying it was holy? Then one Friday evening, he asked me to meet him for a midnight prayer in the church. I didn't question it. When I arrived, he was in a white robe, barefoot, candles lit all around. He told me to kneel and close my eyes. I obeyed. He poured oil on my head and said, "You are the chosen vessel to carry God's next prophet." I didn't understand what he meant. But I kept praying. Until suddenly, his hands were no longer on my head. They were on my body. I tried to pull away. He held me down and whispered, "Don't resist the Holy Spirit." I screamed. But no one heard. And just like that, I was no longer a girl. I was a victim.
Hi. My name is Baby T, and I tell the craziest, wildest stories you've ever heard. So you better like this video and subscribe right now, before I go and tell my mama about you. What are you waiting for? Let's get back to the story.
I ran home bleeding. I stayed under the covers for 2 days, refusing to eat. My mother shouted, "Is it pregnancy you're hiding?" I just cried harder. I didn't know what to do. This was God's servant. Who would believe me? I started hearing voices. "You deserved it. Maybe you were tempting him. You've lost your destiny." When my period didn't come the second month, I knew. I bought a test kit in secret, went behind the market, and took it under a tree. 2 lines. I fell to the ground and wailed like a widow. I begged to see him one more time. He refused to meet me. I waited outside his office after Sunday service. When he saw me, he looked through me like I was a stranger. I whispered, "I'm pregnant." He didn't blink. "You need deliverance." He told the elders I was possessed by a marine spirit. He told the youth group I was sleeping with bus drivers. Soon, rumors spread like wildfire. I became a disgrace overnight. My mother fainted when she found out. My father dragged me outside, stripped me, and beat me with a belt in front of our neighbors, screaming, "Who impregnated you?" When I said, "Pastor Jeremiah," he spat in my face and shouted, "You liar. You devil." The church elders summoned my family. I was forced to kneel before the congregation. Pastor Jeremiah sat on the altar, pretending to cry. He said, "We must pray for this daughter of Zion. She has fallen." Then he said he forgave me. The whole church clapped. I was banned from singing. Women refused to let me near their daughters. Children pointed at me like I was a demon. And still, I stayed silent. Until my stomach began to grow. The day I went into labor, it rained. My water broke on the floor of our room, and my mother refused to touch me. She said, "Since you like men so much, let them help you." My younger brother ran to call a midwife. She arrived with palm oil, old rags, and herbs. They carried me under the mango tree in our compound and laid me on a mat. The pain was like fire. I screamed for hours. No hospital, no injection, nothing. When the baby came out, I passed out. When I woke up, she was wrapped in white cloth, crying weakly. They asked me what I'd name her. I said, "Glory." Because despite it all, I wanted her to shine. I tied her to my back and started selling roasted corn and pure water. Men offered me money for friends with benefits. Some women gave me food but said, "God, don't let my daughter end up like her." I slept with my child on a mat beside my mother's feet, and every day she'd say, "This one will never amount to anything." But I kept praying. Even when my lips bled, I kept praying. One day, while selling pepper in Ibom Plaza, I saw a convoy. A man stepped out wearing a gold wristwatch, designer shoes, and sunglasses. It was him. Pastor Jeremiah. I froze. My hands shook. I nearly dropped my tray. He walked past me, laughing with his guards, walking like he owned the earth. He had opened a megachurch in Lagos. Billboards. Instagram followers. Sponsorship deals. He was now Prophet Jeremiah Global Ministries. He didn't even recognize me. Or maybe he pretended not to. I followed his car, shouting, "You ruined my life. You ruined my life." His guards shoved me into the dirt. And he drove away. I went home, shaking with rage. That night, I took a deep breath and posted everything. Every detail. Every prayer session. Every prophecy. Every moment. I posted pictures of me then, and now. Pictures of glory. I did a DNA test with one of his discarded water bottles a year earlier, positive match. I posted that too. Within hours, it went viral. People screamed. People cried. Women began messaging me, some from his past parishes. There were 9 of us. All young. All silenced. The news made it to national TV. Church elders tried to deny it, but the evidence was overwhelming. His private WhatsApp messages leaked. Police launched an investigation. And just 2 weeks later, they arrested him at Matola Muhammad Airport, trying to flee the country. He looked smaller. His robe wrinkled. His eyes hollow. He avoided my eyes. But I stood firm. Today, I run a safe space in UYO for teenage girls. We offer therapy, vocational training, and protection. I visit schools, I visit churches, and I tell my story without shame. Because shame does not belong to the victim, it belongs to the predator. Glory is now 7. Bright eyes, sharp tongue, and curious. One day she asked me, "Mommy, who is my daddy?" I smiled sadly and replied, "A chapter I've closed." If you are watching this and you have been hurt in silence, please know. You are not alone. You are not cursed. You are not ruined. Your story is not over. Speak. Fight. Heal. because even a broken vessel can carry a powerful voice.